One guest.
No, well, we have two. We have two guests. We're very fortunate to have Anthony Bickerjon. Or is it Bakerjon?
Bacurgian is good.
Bickerjon.
Bacurgian.
Say it again slowly.
Bacurgian.
Bickerjon. Forgive me for making a mess of that. And Kriya Ferguson, we're going to talk to us about the McClure Foundation and their experiences with that. So we're very fortunate to have you, and we're looking forward to hearing from you in a bit. Before we begin, we're going to say I'm going to say a land acknowledgement. Collectively, the members of Rotary Toronto Eglinton respect and honor the traditional territories of our First Nations people across Canada. From time immemorial, Canada has been and is home of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. Reconciliation is more than just a word. It is a profound act of coming together to address past wrongs toward Indigenous peoples and move forward in the spirit of mutual respect, understanding, and healing. And thank you very much to Jackie for giving me that acknowledgement. I think it's very important, and I apologize for not saying anything 2 weeks ago. I'm now going to turn the floor over to Jackie to give us a reflection.
Thank you, Lisa. Please join with me in reflecting on how to make the ordinary come alive. Do not ask, this is especially for parents and aunts and uncles and grandparents. Do not ask your children to strive for extraordinary lives. Such striving may seem admirable, but in a way, it's foolishness. Help them instead to find the wonder and the marvel of an ordinary life. Show them the joy of tasting tomatoes or parsnip soup as we had today, apples and pears. Show them how to cry when pets and people die. Show them the infinite pleasure in the touch of a hand, and make the ordinary come alive for them, because the extraordinary will take care of itself.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to introduce you so that you can introduce the speakers. I just want to say that reminds me so much of a phrase that I heard recently about glimmers. Are you familiar with glimmers? So
Stuff you put on your lips?
No.
Or your eyes?
There are people out there who talk about triggers, things that upset you, moments that upset you. Glimmers are the opposite. They're little moments in your day, a lovely smell of baking bread, the color of the leaves falling, that just give you a little glimmer. So it's important, I think, to recognize the glimmers in our own life and to share that ability with others. So thank you very much. So I'll turn the floor back over to you.
Well, in that spirit, we have a few glimmers to look forward to. Well, today we honor the recipients of the Robert McClure Awards at TMU from the Faculty of Health Science and Community Services. We welcome Kriya Ferguson, an Indigenous student and member of the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte, and on film, Ashley Matthews, an Indigenous domestic student who belongs to the Métis Nation of Ontario. And they're both students in their second year of the midwifery programs at TMU. We also welcome Anthony Bickerjon, the Associate Director of Development in the Faculty of Community Service at TMU. These awards recognize the achievements of up to 4 students annually for a total of $12,000 a year. They recognize academic achievement and commitment to their indigenous community. They're named after Bob McClure, or Dr. Robert McClure, and he was a member of this club. He was a character, a real character. There's nobody here who can compare to this fellow. Let me just digress a bit and tell you a little bit about him, because he's an outstanding Canadian, and we all know how poorly Canadian history is taught in our schools today. Bob McClure was a dedicated surgeon, and his warmth as a human being endured him to the suffering of people on several continents. For a quarter century, Bob McClure pioneered in China rural medicine, family planning, and the therapeutic use of radium. During the Sino-Japanese War, he served as field director for the International Red Cross in the interior of China, and he was a medical commandant of a Quaker ambulance unit. He was a character. Listen to what his biographer said about him. At one point, McClure, following the dictates of his own conscience, the Chinese nationalist soldiers attempted to execute him. The Japanese put a price on his head. The Chinese communists blacklisted him. And our own Prime Minister, Mackenzie King, threatened to throw him in jail when he came back to Canada. Can you imagine that, a Rotarian? So after the Sino-Japanese War, he returned to Canada in 1948 at the age of 49, and he practiced medicine in Toronto. But in less than 2 years, he was back overseas. This time, McClure took on an assignment in Cairo and Gaza as a medical chief of a hospital in Gaza serving refugees. He then went to a church hospital in central India, where for 14 years he served as medical director and chief surgeon. Returning to Canada upon his retirement in 1976, he was elected the first lay moderator of the United Church of Canada, a post he held with compassion, insight, and good humor for 3 years. And he took his volunteer surgical services to hospitals as far afield as the Amazon, the Caribbean, the Canadian Northwest, and the island of Borneo. Imagine the stories he'd have for lunch. Well, no wonder they had 70 members. Throughout his career, wherever he served, McClure developed intuitive training programs to assist local people to acquire the skills necessary to support their own health care services. As McClure so clearly recognized, when we give the gift of knowledge, when we educate others, we give them the ability to help themselves and their neighbors. He passed away in 1991, 2 short weeks after his 91st birthday. And the Toronto Eglinton Rotary Club established the Robert McClure Bursary Awards in 1985 to provide funding for individuals in Canada and the developing world to pursue education and training in any aspect of healthcare prevention or delivery. To endow this fund, the club organized 2 McClure Miracle Dinners, gala dinners and silent auctions in 1991 and 3. And over the years, the McClure Foundation has provided scholarships to First Nations students, medical students in Africa. We've supported the Stephen Lewis Foundation, Dignitas in Malawi, and provided scholarships, continue to provide scholarships for nurses at the Howard Hospital in Zimbabwe. In 2000, first of all, is there anybody here who has a McClure story? Because some of you people know him better than I do. Mine is textbook knowledge. Ron?
Yeah.
You got a McClure story you want to tell us?
Oh, sure. Thank you very much, Jackie. Bob McClure and I were members of this club for a long time together. But it wasn't just a member of this club that we came together. It was in China. So I was doing a lot of consulting work in China at the time, and Bob McClure was leading a lot of groups to visit China, a tour guide and so forth. And there was one particular occasion we knew we were going to be in the same place at the same time in Chengdu, capital of Sichuan, the home of the panda. So Bob said, look, come around, I've got these people here, mostly women, who are interested in what life is like in China. Come and talk to them. Sure, you know, always got a speech ready for any event like this. Went over, started talking to these ladies. In the meantime, there was a lot of banging and clattering going on in one of the adjacent rooms, which was distracting my audience. That was serious. So Bob McClure, a Canadian, went behind there in the best Chinese, berated these people, said, shut up, this is an important meeting next door. The place went deathly silent. That was the power that this Canadian in Chengdu, a city of 3 million people. He was a wonderful guy. We have many common friends in China too. I remember another instance. This is in a place called Luoyang. My wife and I were there as tourists, and every morning I used to go out walkabout. I enjoyed walking, meeting people. And I was walking in this park, and a gentleman came up to me and said, "Don't really me now." And he said, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Canada." You know, I was one of 35 million people. And he looked at me and says, "Tell me," he said, "do you by any chance know my Canadian friend Bob McClure?" I couldn't believe it. I said, "Yes, he's a member of my Rotary Club." What a coincidence, you know. 1.5 billion Chinese, 30 million Canadian, and here we are in this park in Luoyang at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I could go on for that, but I won't, Jackie, because it's important that we hear from our
Right. Thank you, Ron. Sandy, what about you? Do you have a McClure story?
No.
No? Okay, but you were involved in the dinners, right?
Yes.
Right. What about you, Bob Vernon? No? No story from you? Okay. Well, let's get then to the reason for today. I want to invite Anthony to come up and take over the program and to introduce our guests. Thank you, everybody.
Good afternoon again. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I think it's the second year in a row for me, and it's just a pleasure to see you all again. Some now familiar faces. And just on before I introduce our students, who I think, Jackie, you did such a good job of introducing already. Just wanted to, on behalf of the university, thank you so much to the Eglinton Toronto Rotary Club for being a partner and supporting our students, and just hearing the legacy of the McClure Awards and just the breadth and width and depth with which you've helped people here in Canada, our students, but also across the world. It's a privilege to be included in that heritage and in that legacy, and just want to express our deep gratitude for your continued support of our students. You do a lot to alleviate the financial pressures and barriers that prevent many of our students from pursuing higher education. Your award makes it possible for our students to study in the health sciences, to achieve their goals and their dreams, and to go back and serve their communities. So on behalf of the university and the faculty, thank you very much for your support. As you'll hear from Crea Ferguson in a moment, but before that, Ashley Matthews, who unfortunately was not able to be with us. It's our reading break for the semester, so many of our students have gone back either away or they're back in their hometowns to see family, and Ashley is there, but she did record a video just to say thank you, so I'm going to play that for you now. Okay.
Hold on. Yeah, it went to sleep. Hold on.
Sure.
Nothing's instantaneous anymore. Come on. It's coming.
It takes a minute. We had this trouble 2 weeks ago.
It's there. Your screen's up. Your screen's up.
I
Your
see.
background's up. There you go. Just need for it to
Right.
Let's just warm up a little bit, and then light will be bright.
Thank you, Stephen.
And everybody see it? We're good?
Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Matthews. I am a midwifery student at Toronto Metropolitan University. I am in my second year of the 4-year program. I'm actually away right now in Sault Ste. Marie, which is in Northern Ontario. I'm here for my reading week, which is why I'm unable to attend the luncheon. I was just wanting to send a video in to express my gratitude and thanks to the Toronto Eglinton Rotary Club, as I received my award last spring, and that award is very meaningful to me as it allowed me to continue my studies in Toronto in the midwifery program. Attending the midwifery program has been a challenge as I've had to move about 8 hours south from my community up north to be in school and do my studies in the program. But actually starting in the new year, we'll be going into the placement portion, which I have gratefully secured a placement in Sault Ste. Marie. My plan after graduation will be to move back home and to be able to provide midwifery services here. We have a very low obstetric and women's and infants care providers in the community. So being able to go away and gain this education and come back to my community and provide services is really important to me. Birth work and midwifery care is a personal passion of mine. I actually work as a registered nurse in labor and delivery as well. So this continuing education opportunity has been really meaningful. But I just wanted to again say thank you so much and how much it meant to me. I hope you guys enjoy your luncheon today and have a great day. Thank you. Bye.
And it's my privilege to invite Crea Ferguson to come up and say a few words.
Hi everyone, Sego Sewagwego. My name is Crea Ferguson, and I'm an Indigenous midwifery student also in my second year of the midwifery education program here at Toronto Metropolitan University. My family is from Kentucky, Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte near Belleville, and Wikwemekong unceded territory up near Sudbury on Manitoulin Island. It's an incredible privilege to be here today to thank you for supporting students like me through the Dr. Robert McClure Award in Health Science. Midwifery is a very demanding program, not just academically, but also emotionally and financially, as we are learning to provide comprehensive community-based care for people at one of the most transformative moments of their lives. So many of my relatives and community members have had difficult or even traumatic experiences giving birth within mainstream healthcare systems. And hearing these stories as an Indigenous doula and through my work at Call Auntie Clinic and in different research projects has fueled my desire to be a midwife. Today, my home community of Kentucky is fortunate to have amazing Indigenous Onkwehoe midwives who work within the Aboriginal Midwifery Exemption Clause. But because of how healthcare legislation and hospital frameworks are structured on reserve and off reserve, these midwives are not able to practice fully, specifically in hospital settings. And so they can only offer supportive care, but not primary care to clients who may need or want hospital births. This gap is what drew me to this program, so I want to become a registered Indigenous midwife who can move between many settings, whether that's the hospital, the birth center, clinic births, or home births, while staying grounded in a culturally safe, client-centered care. Receiving this award has been more than just financial help. It's allowed me to keep pursuing this goal without the constant stress of having to afford it. I currently commute from Hamilton to Toronto for classes as I'm staying with my grandparents, and the support helps cover my tuition, any additional living expenses, and the long GO train rides. But more than that, receiving this award has lifted an emotional weight and given me the space to focus on learning, caring for the community, and showing up prepared for the work that I want to do. So thank you so very much for your support. This award doesn't just support students, but it also supports their families and their communities that we will one day serve. So Niawankoa, which means thank you very much in Mohawk.
Thank you very much for sharing your story, Kriya. It's wonderful to hear, to meet you and to hear why you're in the program, and we learn a little bit from everybody who speaks to us. I'm going to turn the floor over to Bob Vernon to thank our guests officially.
How's that? Okay. Well, it's a great pleasure for me to be able to thank Ashley and Kriya for their comments and support for what the McClure Foundation is doing for them and for fellow Indigenous scholars at what I used to think of as Ryerson, but is now, of course, TMU. And it's a real pleasure to hear from you just how important it is to your ongoing progress and your achievements to date. So keep up the good work, and maybe we'll be able to hear from you again a little further down the road. Thank you.
Now, at this point, we're going to start the business portion of our meeting. You're welcome to stay. You're also welcome to slip away if you've got things you need to be doing. I realize it's reading week. You may want some time for yourself. But please stay if you'd like. We're going to start the business portion with Happy Bucks. So I'm going to take this out of here. Ugh. Does anyone have anything they're particularly happy about today? Anna?
Okay.
Here, you need the mic. Okay. Oh, come up to the front, show everybody. She brought a friend.
I have to give you the money too. So how many of you know Patron? Nobody. Well, then this will be a revelation. He is a dog, a real dog, a Jack Russell in Ukraine who sniffs out landmines. And he's alive and well, and they're very proud of him. I got this yesterday. I'm going to donate it to the auction. Putting a reserve bid of $100 on it because I believe it's going to become a collector's item. That's what I paid for him through a donation. I bought some drones. So he's got a little safety vest on. It's got Ukraine on it, the maker, as well as a lanyard from the credit union, and his name, Patron. So I really do think it'll become a collector's item because once this war is over, they won't be making them anymore necessarily, although I did read just this week, Russians are dropping landmines in fields and roads via drones. Started.
And are they sold someplace as a fundraiser?
At the credit union on
Okay.
Bloor Street. Yeah,
Credit
you could,
union.
if you donate $100, you get a dog,
Oh, okay.
a stuffed animal.
Where's that on board?
Where?
Yeah, on board.
I think Norma wants a stuffed animal.
What's the crossroads of Bloor and what? I can-
Dury,
Okay.
Armadale,
Okay.
yeah.
The West End.
Between Jane and Runnymede,
Between Jane and Runnymede.
on
Go
the
with
south
that.
side.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get you one.
I would assume that's the Ukrainian credit union.
Yeah,
So if you Google Ukrainian credit union, you can
Gotcha.
probably find
I
it.
just
and
was
it's on the
curious.
bag, I'll show you.
I think it's a good
Picture.
fundraiser.
Okay.
Oh, and you wanted to actually put money in the tin for that?
I do.
Perfect.
Oh, I should probably give another $5. The two fellas that we're sending, the two brave souls that we're sending to Ukraine, Dr. Peter Derkach and Jerry Evans, with their wives, are going to be here at the fundraiser.
Yay.
So you'll meet them. Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, while we're here, sorry.
Yeah, just I was diagnosed about 2 weeks ago with COVID, but I got rid of it fortunately before last weekend, so I'm glad that I got rid of it. It pretty well uneventfully. Thank you.
That's very good news.
I might steal a couple. I want to tell you I'm really happy. I had my 81st birthday last week. I didn't think I'd ever get there, you know, so it's nice to be there. And I really want to thank Anna for the work that she's doing on this project for Ukraine. Everybody I talk to is more than impressed with what this little club is doing to get rid of, you know, this problem of lack of limbs and to get it quickly to the people. So well done. I'm proud you're one of our members.
I agree.
Just want to thank everybody today. I've been coming to this Rotary Club since 1991. I knew Bob McClure, and it's quite amazing to hear about it today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Anyone? Lars. I thought there was somebody over here.
So that was not because these wonderful members let me sit with them, but I appreciate that. I'm actually putting down some money there in memory of Maureen Bird. Many in the club know Maureen from the Toronto Club. She passed away last week. She has had a few tough years with cancer and was hit in a traffic accident that should have killed her because of someone ran right into it. Maureen was a fantastic Rotarian. If you were to design a Rotarian, I think Maureen would be the one. Always willing, passionate about participation, and she has nagged me in my district role many years asking for money for her projects. I know that she's asked us for money, and at the same time she's been a good ambassador for our projects, so it is a loss, but
I just sent her an email last week. When did this happen?
Friday, I think it was.
Wow. Wow.
So
Lars, is there funeral?
the Toronto Club, together with the family, is planning a major celebration of her life. So
Was it a car accident?
No. It was natural resources, so to speak. She passed away at home with her family and so on and so forth. But for us, actually, it happened to be, I didn't know that, but her family had a trailer in the trailer park in Finland Falls, and that is now being replaced by a ugly building. It's 60 units, and actually they had bought one unit, and unfortunately we never got to share. But this should not be really, please don't be sad, because we should just appreciate what we have learned from Maureen and see that as an example. Coming back to where Jackie started, to bring it up a little bit, I also have a lot of stories about Bob McClure. And the interesting thing was that when a few of us approached him, we came up with the idea that maybe we should do something for his 90th birthday. And somehow I think it's born in the fall. So we came to think of, for instance, the Nobel Committee and so on. So we said, would you agree that we collect money and start to set up a fund and so on and so forth? And he said, and I remember, he was actually sitting at the door, because that was very often he took the money. And he said, do you think this would fly? And we said, yeah, we are. And it did fly. And he said, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And he had and actually what I need to do, sorry that I take so much time, but Bob McClure was a fantastic type. Jackie said, there is few people like Bob McClure, and Ron, with all due respect, a fantastic member. He joined Rotary late in life, but as he said, you know, sometimes life rotates too much, for you to be in Rotary. And it made sense because, of course, at that time we had the strict attendance rules and so on and so forth. But he was a great person, and I actually have somewhere in my basement the tape from his speech at the 90-year gala, which is actually fantastic motivational speech. It's about 20 minutes, so we'll see if we can somehow maybe put it on the website or something like that. Anyway, sorry for taking so much time.
It's okay, I'm wearing my comfortable shoes.
Hold on a second. Lars, I apologize for not asking you for your story. You just always struck me as being so young. I didn't think you were...
Nice save. Nice save.
younger then.
Does anyone else have anything? Walter. Happy Bucks?
Yes, happy bucks. Start off there. Okay, well, just basically acknowledging the beautiful weekend we just had. Spent time closing up our family cottage. My mother was up there. She's going to be 100 in about another 2 weeks.
Wow.
So we're having a big celebration. So again, there's a number of Rotary activities that we've got going. So as soon as Lisa passes the mic over to me, I'll announce some of the things we've got.
Well, why don't you got the mic?
Okay, let's go. All right, so first off, you probably all know we have a wine tasting coming up. I think it's a Thursday evening. It's Maria Scharfenberg is going to be running it, and it's at the condo. Anna's condo? Anna?
Maria's.
Maria's. Yeah, Maria's.
Sorry, pointing to you. I meant Maria.
Yeah. Your condo is where again?
It's on Bloor and Avenue.
Bloor, again, more will be sent out on that, yeah. Bloor and Avenue, that's right. So it's this is October 12th, that's coming up. So far, the capacity is 20 people. So far, we've got 5 to 6. Five? Okay. And,
If you're
okay.
interested in attending, you can email me and I'll put you on the registration list.
Yeah. No, last time we did it was a wonderful success. Everybody loved it, and Maria is a wonderful presenter. Okay, so coming up also a fundraiser November 9th. Stephen Bianco, do you want to talk about?
November 7th, actually.
November, okay. Stephen, do you want to talk?
Since then,
Okay.
I'd just like to give you a little bit of an update. Things are ticking along quite well. So far we've raised, in terms of sponsorships and donations, just over $15,000 towards a target of it in excess, hopefully, of $20,000. But there are a number of asks outstanding, and I'm just waiting to hear back from a number of people who have been very generous in the past and hopefully will be again this year. The big thing as well, of course, is attendance. Now, we've done pretty well so far with tickets. We're up to 45, including a number of people who've promised us today that they're going to buy tickets but haven't actually bought them yet. But we've got something like 30 already firmly committed and paid for, and there's another 15 which have been committed this morning, which takes us up to 45. We're hoping to get at least 100 people. We want to get at least 100 people to cover the cost of the evening, and give us a very nice cushion that we're going to be able to pass on to Anna's organisation for the prosthetics. As well as that, we're collecting items, of course, as you know, for the silent auction and the raffles. And again, Anna has done sterling work in chasing after a number of restaurants and people of that sort. And there are a number of others amongst you who can possibly do the same. Ron Denham, I think last year you got a couple of restaurant vouchers as well. I don't know whether you can do the same again this year. Lean on a few of your local restaurateurs. Again, the more items, the merrier. We've got a number of things in, but we still have a long way to go in terms of collecting items for the raffle and the silent auction. And if there's anyone, there are 1 or 2 members here who have not committed for tickets, but please do so. Either see me now or be in touch with me as soon as you possibly can. But we want to get the ticket sales up. We want to get the bodies here. And as I say, we need at least 100 people to make the event a real success. We can actually take as many as 125. Be nice to see that, but as long as we get over 100, I think we'll be doing pretty well. Anybody got any questions? Okay, thanks. Oh yeah.
Not a question, but just a reminder, folks, that if you want to buy something to donate to the silent auction, you could get a tax receipt for it. I'll send out a form to Anna and Craig that you can use. You just have to attach your receipt to the form. Just a reminder, if a restaurateur donates a dinner for two, they can't get a tax receipt. But if you buy one, you can get the tax receipt. You can also give a piece of jewelry that you've got an appraisal for. Attach that and we can give you a tax receipt. Or if you have a piece of art, and we can usually sneak in a tax receipt for up to 1,000 without a tax receipt. But if you've got an appraisal, anyway, let us know. So you can. I'll send this information on to Bill Steele and to Anna, but that's available.
Good point, Jackie. Thank you very much for raising it. The only caveat I would say is we have not had a lot of luck with pieces of art in the past at these auctions.
I bought 3 pieces.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, great.
I'm trying to get
Well, then I withdraw the comments.
But they're her pictures.
I bought Walter Wells's wife's favorite piece, and
Wow.
I want. I'm trying to get Sandy Loudon's daughter to donate a piece of art too, because and Ron. Well, I don't know whether your daughter would be interested, Ray, but anyway, her stuff is pretty nice too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so further, we've got a lot of things coming up. Our Out of the Cold commitment is going to be starting very soon. So we are on teams 2 and 4 again. Similar to the last couple of years, Arvo, if you remember, Arvo Alfred and his brother Hans Alfred and all the people on their committees there. So unfortunately, I think the team 2, usually the second Wednesday of the month, is probably going to be impacting our overnight, our evening Rotary meeting, but it's something we couldn't change because the Out of the Cold program, they've got 200 plus people that they serve and so many people involved. And in terms of, I did raise an objection, but if we do anything, we impact an awful lot of people there. So we're quite a bit smaller than the Out of the Cold organization is. So we couldn't make any changes there. So, but again, we're going to be on Team 2 and Team 4. Our first commitment date is November 12th. The next one is November 26th. Yes.
Sorry, there was just 2 comments I'd forgotten to mention.
Okay.
Number 1, the next fundraising committee meeting is going to take place on Tuesday evening of next week at 7 p.m. So anybody who'd like to join in is welcome to do so.
It's Monday.
Sorry, Monday evening, that's right, October the 20th at 7 p.m. And the other thing is we've got a guest who's going to be coming to the event, who, thanks to Lars, who's been able to contact the Consul General for the Ukraine, who's going to be coming along on the evening on November the 7th.
Okay, I've also been asked by the Toronto Club. I do a little bit of work for the Toronto Club, as you probably know. I do their Santa Claus photographs. And they have 2 asks basically for assistance. One is a HIP program helping Indigenous, what is it? HIP, what is that? Helping Indigenous...
Honoring Indigenous people.
Honoring Indigenous, and there's another program which involves subsidizing a family coming from the war-torn area there in the West. So anyway, I've been asked to put those forward at our next board meeting, and they're asking for a bit of a buy-in, several $1,000s that we can put in. Some of it we can do with our McClure funds. Some of it will come out of the bingo funds and such. So I'm not sure what we can do, but again, we'll discuss that at the board meeting, which is, I believe, next week. That's pretty much all for me, I think. Lisa? Did anybody have any questions about what's coming up? Okay, over to Lisa. Thank you.
So Stephen, you're happy, you don't need to say anything else. Does anyone else have any announcements that they'd like to make? Anything for the good of Rotary they'd like to share? Excellent. Well, our next meeting is Rotary After Hours next week at the Duke of Kent. And then October the 29th is a week off because it's the 5th Wednesday. So our next in-person meeting will be, I think it's November the 5th. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Guy Fawkes.
We're only the 14th.
Yeah, the 5th.
So,
Yes.
So next week is going to be.
Is Raw, and the following week is the 5th week of the month, and is a week off.
Okay.
I just said that.
Good, good.
And so the first meeting back is the first Wednesday in November. It's the 5th.
You're right.
And we will be having our district governor, Nisi, come to talk to us. So with that, I will bring this meeting to a close. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.